Hi everyone, Tracy here from Red Wind Studio. Thought I'd do a little demo today. This is going to be teaching you how to do some stripping. So I've already prepped the piece. This is a little wash stand that I got last weekend at a garage sale. I've already taken the harp off because I don't want to strip that part. I'm only going to be stripping the top of this piece and staining it and painting the rest of it out. I'm not great with woods, but I'm pretty sure that this is pine by the looks of it. And so what I've done, I've applied a stripper to the top of it. And the one that I like to use is a Canadian brand. It's eco-friendly, and I can use it right here in the studio. It has very low odor. It does smell a little bit, but it doesn't have that typical awful stripper high chemical smell to it. So it can be used in your home. You don't have to worry about that. I apply it with one of these little chip brushes. So this one's all worn down. I've been using it during my workshop. So I am recycling it and using it for stripper. And this is the brand that I like to use. And like I said, it is eco-friendly. I've used or tried a few eco-friendly brands and I have not had luck with them. They smell like something died and it's terrible. And you have to use numerous coats of it to get your finish off. This maximum I've ever had to do is 2 coats to get my finish off. Typically I put it on once, let it sit for about 20 minutes, and the finish comes right off easily. So that's it there. Hopefully you can read that. It does come in the smaller size as well, the quart. So it's a little bit more economical if you only need it for one small project. So I've applied this, I've let it sit. It's been about 15-20 minutes. Sorry, I have hair stuck to my lips. And so I'm ready to take my scraper and try to remove this. Get rid of my brush. Now, I don't always wear gloves, but since I am doing a video, I'm going to be proactive and do the right thing, show you guys how to do it right, because this stuff will burn if you get it on your skin and if you don't get it washed off right away. So, and I have a little bit of eczema going on my hands, so I don't want to get any on that because that'll sting a lot. So I just use a little putty knife. You can use a wider one if you want. I've misplaced mine, so I'm not sure where it is. So I always go with the grain. So the grain is running this way, and I just slide my putty knife along, and as you can see, it's just pulling up the old varnish off of it. Sometimes if you don't get it on quite thick enough, it won't soak in enough to lift the old finish off. So right, I don't know whether you can see that, the camera's not that close up, but right in here there's a couple of spots that are not coming up as easily. I think I've got them now with a little extra scraping. And I put paper down. I have a drop cloth, but I also put paper down to protect the floor. I do have carpeting in here, so I don't want to damage it. Not that it's the nicest carpet, but still. And then I folded up paper just down here in front that I can put big clumps on. And I can dispose of this later. It's hard to get the rounded edges. You can get some curved tools specifically designed for stripping furniture. The other thing that I like to use, I forgot to get it out, is steel wool. Now, this isn't super fine. It is, the grade is 0 on it. And you don't want to rub too hard, not especially on a soft wood. You don't want to scratch it. But good for the edges. It does act like a bit of a sandpaper. So once you think that you have all of your finish off, you want to clean off any residue from the stripper. And I prefer using a mixture of, let me take my gloves off here so I can pick this up. I put a little bit of borax in a bucket of water, right here, there we go. And I use that to clean it. Now the borax apparently helps neutralize the stripper. So if you do have anything left over when you go to put your stain on, the solution will help stop that from reacting with your new finish. So I just have it right here. And this stripper, I can wash that brush out and reuse it again with soap and water. There's still a bit of finish here, but I'm going to be sanding this as well. So any little bit of finish that I didn't get with the stripper, I can use my sandpaper to help remove it. It's thinned out significantly, so using sandpaper will take care of that. When you do apply the stripper to your piece, you don't want it to be super thin. You want it to be about the amount that you see on a donut. So the icing on a donut, about that thickness. Usually if you go to Tim Hortons and there's a bit of a glazed white icing on a donut, it's not overly thick like you would have on a cake. But it's not super thin either, so about that thickness on the top of your piece, and that will be about the right amount so that it doesn't dry out too quickly before it has a chance to do what it needs to do. And let it sit for about 20 minutes. Scrape it off carefully so you don't jam your tool into into the wood surface, and then clean it off with the borax and water solution. I've said it before, I never measure anything, so I sort of look at the box and it gives you sort of a guideline, and I just dump some in and put water in it, and so far it's worked well for me. So, and that is your prepping before you stain. So the next step, once this is thoroughly dried off and in a couple of hours, I'll take a sandpaper to it. Now, because the finish is off of it pretty good, I will judge it at that point. For this, I'll probably only need to use maybe a 220 grit to get any other finish off of it. If I need to, I might go a little bit heavier and then come back to the 220 grit. And the rest of the piece I'll be cleaning and giving a light sanding to, and the rest will be painted out. I haven't decided on the color yet, but I wanted to show you guys how I go about prepping my piece before staining it. So that's it for this morning. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day here in St. Jacobs. There's a few clouds, but the sun is shining bright. It's a little cool, but it's a beautiful autumn morning. So we'd love to see you down here at the studio. We're open from 10 till 5 today, and we're open Sundays as well, 12 till 5. Hope to see you soon. Take care.